Alright everybody, welcome to another edition of WCW 2003 here on TEW as we're continuing the road onto the Clash of the Champions as it's the beginning of August 2003. So let's get rolling in front of 9,000 people at the Matthew Knight Arena in beautiful Eugene, Oregon. So we start out with our pre-show women's tag match, as in a pre-show match that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Gail Kim and Lexi James defeated Beth Phoenix and Emi Sakura in 9:58 when Gail Kim submitted to Emi Sakura. This gets a 58. Emi gets a 48, Beth Phoenix gets a 46, Lexi and Gail gets a 55. And yeah, just get some time in the ring together for these guys, especially for Gail and Lexi, since they'll be sort of like sidelined at least for this month because Amber O'Neill's getting the title shot. But, solid match. I mean, much better than you'd expect, that we started out with these girls. But anyway, moving on to our match. Yeah, and a match that's probably going to be better than basically almost everything else on the actual show, but, what can you do? In a decent pre-show match, Eric Harris, Jeff Hardy, and Paul London defeated Cash, Kaz, and Lance Storm in 15:26 when Jeff Hardy pinned Cash with a Swanton Bomb. London gets a 65, Hardy gets a 75, Eric Harris gets a 70, Lance Storm gets a 79, Kaz gets a 66, and Cash gets a 62. So yeah, I mean, this is just a back and forth flippy-doo match between all these guys doing their best. But yeah, probably, like I said, better than the actual, probably than like most of the match shows, but they don't have an actual story, so what can you do? Anyway, on to the main show. So we start with our opening promo where Palumbo, comes out to the ring, gets cheers from the crowd, says, a lot of people said he'd never be here, that, he was just some generic guy that was used to the power plant, but here I am, on the cusp of becoming world champion, and I'm going to bring the fight to Vampiro, because I'm not some sad sack who's going to get beat down. I'm going to take the fight to a painted up idiot like him. Vampiro comes out, cuts some sort of like heelish promo, says, "You are just another victim on the path of darkness, and it doesn't matter how many cheers you get. After all, what did cheers do for your poor little Stacy after she got thrown off the ringside area by Steiner?" Crowd goes heel heat for that. Palumbo gets a little mad, but then Sean O'Hare music hits, and he comes out, joins Palumbo in the ring, and says, "Tonight, I know that your other Deadpool buddies are busy with Booker and Goldberg in the main event. Why don't me and O'Hare team up once again to take on Vampiro and Lestat?" Vampiro says, "O'Hare, I should be done with you, but I'll totally end you tonight." And so he agrees, and there you go. The gets an 87, which isn't quite as good as like our 90s we were getting with some people, but still pretty solid considering it's Palumbo and O'Hare, even though I've pushed them well. And we go on to our opening match. Oh no, we get an A&W promo in the back, and Randy, we're still the best tag team in professional wrestling. We're the future of tag team wrestling, and that's why we got these belts. It doesn't matter who we face. It doesn't matter who we face. We're just going to keep on rolling. Get the 62, perfectly solid, straightforward promo. And we move on to a tag match. As Nabal had subpar wrestling and non-assistant crowd heat, Chavo Guerrero and Jamie Noble defeated Yang and Blitzkrieg in 6:57. Noble pinned Blitzkrieg while using the ropes for leverage. This gets a 70, which is actually better than I expected. Blitz gets a 59, Yang gets a 56, Noble gets a 65, Chavo gets a 62. Noble does get the win, but he doesn't, defeat his opponent, which I guess I should actually officially do since would be announced during this. That Jamie Noble has to agree to, in his words, put the Young Dragons behind him forever by defeating Yang. So where is that? Cruiserweight, there you go. And I guess also I can pre-book the world title match, since that's also happening. Chuck Palumbo versus Vampiro, with the world title on the line. And yeah, okay, I think that's basically it. And then afterwards, we have the heel celebrating, which gets a 56, just the heels being heels, celebrating their win, as Noble points as his title, as if, saying to Yang, "You're never going to get this." Then we go backstage, where Booker and Goldberg get a promo, basically they're backstage, they say they have each other's back, and that tonight is just another blow against the Deadpool, as we finally get to tear them apart in the main event, and show them as the paper taggers that they are. And Goldberg just says, just remember, somebody's going to be next, and it doesn't matter who, because they're just going to get jackhammered. And Booker T, says, "Mesias, At the Clash, it's going to be over between us, and your invincibility is going to be over because you never truly faced a 5-time world champion in a battle. Saka. And it gets an 81. And then we have a promo where Shane Helms backstage with Jeremy Borash, and he basically accepts the challenge from Rey Jr. for tonight and says he'll be happy to finally end the myth of Rey Mysterio Jr. right in that ring as he continues his proof that he is the greatest United States champion of all time. And gets 72 just because of a short 3-minute promo. And then we have a Kanyon in-ring, which gets a 67 because it's a pretty much a short promo where Kanyon, says he's up, he should be the one getting the world title shot, but Rob Van Dam got involved in business that wasn't his. It was pointed out that RVD was in that match, but was supposed to not try to win. But tonight he's going to face some cruiserweight pipsqueak and prove that nobody's better than Kanyon. Again, short promo gets a 67, and the actual match gets an 80 because Kanyon is awesome. As in a good match, Kanyon defeated Jason Jett in 9:49 by pinfall the Flatliner. This gets an 80, Kanyon gets us 92, Jason Jett gets a 60. And yeah, just a straightforward win for Kanyon. Jett does his best to fight back, but Jett's still basically a mid-carder, and Canyon's a former world champion and a top guy, so he doesn't even need to cheat. But, because he's a heel, Kanyon goes crazy, and tries to continue to beat down on Jett, including getting a chair, but RVD comes out for the save. And yeah, basically, runs off Kanyon as Kanyon, yells about conspiracy, and RVD helps Jett up, and this gets an 81. And then we have a backstage promo where Angel Fox has a 46, which is not the best, unfortunately, probably because Amber's not that over. But anyway, she could, cuts a promo saying, she's proud to be Women's World Champion again. And, if Amber O'Neal's never a contender, that's fine. She's going to prove to the fans, why they support her, and why, Amber had to hook up with a sleazebag like Cash just to get some prominence again. Ooh, catty. But this gets a 46. Not the best, but, what can you do? And holy crap. I was not expecting this. Jesus, this should have probably been our main event. I'm pretty sure our main event is not going to get this, unfortunately. Well, anyway, in a superb match, Palumbo and frickin' O'Hare defeated Vampiro and Lestat in 9:52. When O'Hare pinned Lestat, okay, this is double super kick. That it was the Widowmaker. I don't know why it says double super. Oh, because that was their tag finisher. Okay. Anyway, match itself gets a 94. O'Hare gets a 91. Palumbo gets an 87. Lestat gets a 68. Vampiro gets an 88. Yeah. Wow. And then the post-match is, basically, Vampiro then comes in, but, Palumbo hits the, big super kick, O'Hare gets the Widowmaker, and then they both hit a Swanton bomb on him. I think Palumbo can do that. As the crowd cheers, as the announcers hype up the fact that this happens at the pay-per-view, Jack Palumbo will be a very unlikely next world champion. And this gets an 86. And then you go backstage where we have a Horseman promo where, they basically put over, tonight that Jeff Jarrett is going to take care of Ric Flair's business for him, as Alex Wright will be reminded that Jeff Jarrett is the chosen one, and, he's just some German punk. And, Kanyon is in the background just still yelling about RVD getting involved in his business, and our Flair, basically does Flair things. And this gets an 89 as we move on to the next thing. Which is, and about that great heat and decent wrestling, Jeff Jarrett defeated Alex Wright in 9:32 by pinfall with stroke following interference from Ric Flair. So this match is exactly what you expect it is. Solid back and forth match. Unfortunately, they didn't click, so I don't know exactly how they wouldn't click. Maybe Jarrett would try to make it a brawl, but Wright can quite, pull up for that. But regardless, still not a terrible match as it gets a 76. But in the end, Flair comes out, distracts Wright just long enough for Jarrett to, hit the stroke. And Jarrett gets 75, Wright gets a 65. And afterwards, Flair and Jarrett celebrate, get to 73 just because it was a quick 2-minute segment. But, And then we go to our semi-final match, where in a match that got a 75, probably because we had a shitty finish. And about that superb wrestling and good heat, Rey Mysterio Jr. defeated Shane Helms in 16:07 when Shane Helms intentionally got Okay, so, yeah, let's change this. When Gigantes... So, I forgot that some things basically overturn other things. So what should have been this finish here is basically Rey Mysterio Jr. hit some sort of huge top rope Frankensteiner on Helms, but then Gigantes comes in, chokeslams right in the middle of the ring, ref calls for the DQ, and the beatdown is on. So Helms got an 85, Rey Jr. got an 84. Looking at your dirt sheet, I'm going to guess... Okay, I forgot to add a storyline. That makes sense. Or no, okay, there's very relatively low heat for this. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. And then Sting made the save. So basically beat down, Sting makes a save. This goes to 73. Not the end of the world, but we really need to like try to reheat this promo. Yeah, anyway. Okay, not the end of the world or anything, but not like the best. Really need to like sort of reheat this feud a bit, because I think adding, unfortunately, Sting is a little less over than he used to be, and Gigantes is Gigantes. So yeah, but oh well, we'll figure out something. Let's see here, yeah, and then we move on to our main event, which was not as good as the main event, but still a really solid main event, as an exceptional match. Booker T and Bill Goldberg drew with Mesias Morningstar in 13:40 following a double countout. Bill Goldberg gets a 92, Booker T gets a 92, Morningstar gets an 82, Mesias gets an 87. Not enough selling shown. I mean, it's Goldberg Mesias on there. There shouldn't be that much selling shown. But yeah, just a, wild, top level main event style match. And in the end, the show finishes with them all brawling on the outside. And the match overall gets us an 88. Okay, there we go. That's better. Had a couple meh shows there, but come back. I guess story is giving Vampiro and the Horsemen lots of promo time, and put Goldberg and Booker in the main event, and you'll have a good show. Or actually, in the semi-main. Anyway, let's see how we're doing. So I'll get to Raw in a second, because we actually have a pay-per-view to show to you guys, but also let's look at here. Yeah, look, okay, it's a problem. Interesting, Jacqueline. Okay, Jacqueline retired. That's interesting. Let's see here, Nitro. Okay, so we got 2.06 rating. That's good. But yeah, let's go to the WEF real quick. So, at Vengeance. So let's see here. Pre-show matches. Spectacularly viewed Mark Henry. Okay, that's just hilarious. Big Boss Man and No Trust Needed defeating Val Venus and Wild and Wicked. No Trust Needed is also known Jake Roberts. Jerry Lynn defeated Kate Quick by DQ in a match that had been for the European title. Molly Hollar defeated Ivory in a cage match. Okay, that makes sense. William Regal defeated Grandmaster Sexay. The Radicals defeated the Dudley Boys for the tag titles. So Perry Saturn and Malenko are your tag titles in Champions in 2003. Good win for them. DDP defeated Billy Gunn, so solid win for him. Trish Stratus won back the women's title from Lita. The Undertaker and Chris Jericho defeated the APA and Disturbia in a three-way that got a 98. The weird thing is APA and Disturbia are part of Disturbia, and remember, Disturbia is Austin, Raven, and the APA. So I imagine this is some sort of like wacky angle where it's supposed to be a handicap match, but Undertaker and Chris Jericho fight away because, yeah. And then Big Show defeated Brock Lesnar by DQ, which got a 93. Triple H defeated Shawn Michaels in a 99. And in a very, very TEW booking, Kane defeated Kurt Angle for the World Heavyweight title. So, which got 97, because of course it did. So that means Kurt Angle's world title reign ends just short of a year. So yeah, there's your main event. And if we go, then we go to Raw, we had Lita defeating Jacqueline, and I guess her retirement match. Brock Lesnar and Quick and Sexy defeated Randy Orton and the Radicals. Chris Jericho defeated Cheetah Kid. AP even the Stretchers. Who are the Stretchers? Okay, that's hilarious. Steve Austin defeated Blue Boy in a random 90. See, that's so unfair that this match can get a 90. That's the AI cheating. Kurt Angle defeated DDP in a 94, and in the main event, Big Show and The Undertaker defeated Chris Benoit and Triple H by countout in a match that got a 99. So, yeah. So, overall, did they... Yeah, they barely beat us, but still, just barely. Okay. I think that's it. Let's see here. Any other email? No other... Mid-South is about to die, which is not that sad. But yeah, one other thing, if you notice, if you notice that there's not as many people without morale issues, basically what I did was I gave some money out to basically, I try to do it realistically in that, like, if we're basically saying the money is talking to them and promising them and talking about their future and then being happy that they're actually going to be booked more correctly. So that's why, Jeff Hardy still has morale issues because, like, he had his work problems. Lestat has morale issues because he and Vampiro got in a fight, and there's not much to do with that. Vampiro still has big morale issues because he's Vampiro. Rotor Ammo has morale issues because he tried to beat up somebody, and I suspended him. And Sting now has morale issues because of the just instant use that handled Vampiro, but we look at her backstage. It's still at 99%, so Sting, you'll just have to be slightly unhappy for the moment and hope that being in a big program with Helms and Rey Jr. will help you out. But yeah, that's unfortunate. And yes, if you look at the roster, you see a big old spoiler, but I think most people have figured this out. Regardless, and one other thing, if we look at the final merchandising for last month, so last month, number 1 was Goldberg, number 2 was Booker T, number 3 is RVD, number 4 is O'Hare, number 5 is Lawler, 6 was Vampiro, 7 was Kanyon, 8 was Mesias, 9 was Palumbo, 10 was Flair, 11 was Sting, 12 was Rey Jr., 13 was Jarrett, 14 was Jeff Hardy, 15 was Jeff Hardy, 16 was Kidman, 17 was Bischoff, 18 was Douglas, 19 was Morningstar, 10 was Scott Steiner. And as we go down at the bottom, once again, Bobby Heenan, $224 worth of merch. I have no idea what that is. But anyway, that's it for now. So, we're just continuing on the road to Clash of the Champions. Not our best show ever, but a pretty solid show, I think. But anyway, if you like this, go and give it a like, comment below what you're enjoying and not enjoying, and subscribe to the channel for lots of TEW 2020 content, including this, my TEW 1993 No Eric Bischoff series, my WWE Women's Wrestling in 2010, my Cornell-verse content, and of course the MLW Worthless Aggression series. But that's all for now, so talk to you later, and adios.